My name is Benjamin, and I play Erik in a season for youths called Rumors, and I'm on Young Entertainment. Yes.
We here at Young Entertainment, all of what we like to do are masterclass moments and learning from actors in the field, stars in the field such as yourself. And our audiences just love to know, how to maybe break out into the field themselves. So let's talk about your journey. What did you do to get ready for this audition?
Hey, it's actually a pretty funny story because I never intended to be an actor in any way. It never crossed my mind. But we had this school play. It must be back in it must be 2021 or something. And then one of my teachers sent me this link for a Facebook post like, "Hey, we're looking for some young actors in Bergen in Norway." And we've never seen that before. There's like no film community in Bergen, like
Mm.
major. So I was like, okay, I'll send in like a self-tape just for giggles. And then all of a sudden, like it went several months and I didn't even think about it. And then I get a call from this lady like, "Hey, are you free tomorrow?" I'm like, "Who are you?" She's like, "Yeah, I just saw your self-tape and I forgot about you. But now I remember you. Can you come in?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. I'll swing on by." So I had my exams the next day. I was sitting like reading science and then like, okay, I have an audition tomorrow. So I didn't have time to read a script or anything. Showed up there, nervous, out of my mind. Got into a room and was like, I haven't read the script. And so we just had to improvise everything. And luckily, it turned out fine. So
Wow.
she called me the day after and was like, "Do you want the part?" And I was like, "Yeah, yes." That was all good.
Wow. So you audition or you improvised your whole audition.
Yeah, pretty much. I,
That is incredible.
Yeah, I remember that day. I was so stressed, and I was so nervous. But thankfully, the character was supposed to be nervous, so they just thought that, hey, he's a really good actor. But I was myself. Holy.
That's amazing. And you know what? Like that's the life of a young actor, school and filming or auditions, whatever it may be. How do you balance that?
I just finished high school. I think it's called high school in the US. Is it? Yes.
Yes.
Right before college, right?
Yes, right before
Yes.
college.
So I just finished. So my first year of high school, we filmed season one and two. So I had to go by my school and like, "Hey, can I skip school for a couple of months?" And they were like, "Okay, like a month or two." And I was like, "No, half a year." And they were like, "Okay." So thankfully, I got to take some time off school, and I did the same this the last year of high school for the first half of the semester, and I had to do a ton of homework to get my grades. But it was many late nights and much work in the like work in the day and homework at night. But luckily, we found a good solution for it, and everything turned out great. So I don't have to go another year. No summer school.
Yay! That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win.
Incredible. What's one technical aspect of your acting that you learned from working on Rykter or Rumors, that you'll take with you in your next role?
Technical aspect. That's hard. I don't know. It's very funny to like get on a set and to work with people that because every one of the rumor actors have never done acting before, or many of us at least.
Yeah.
So I think we've all like grown together in some way. Like we learn how to like read each other's faces and follow each other, and that was like a fun technique that is like, okay, it's not all about what you do, but it's how you play on others, and that's a really funny part of it that like not many people think about, but. Yeah, we kind of grew together in that way.
And how important can you elaborate kind of on, having the chemistry with scene partners, both on and off the camera?
Ooh, that's super important. Like, imagine you have like you work 10 hours a day, right? And
Mm.
then and you only film for 1 hour in total. and the rest of it is just you're being off camera, you're reading the script, you're talking with people, and having that chemistry to like give it your best at those 10% where you're actually filming and where you're actually doing something. That's super important. Like just to, be able to play on each other and even go outside the script and do something funny and do something that just feels right and giving the series life outside of the script. That's super important.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about, filming for 1 hour, even though you're working for 10. Talk to me about the downtime on set. What do you do to pass the time as you're waiting for everyone to set up?
Well, it's what can I say? They call you up 6 in the morning and they say like, "Hey, get in the car. We have to drive somewhere." And then we drive like for 1.5 hour right out in the forest, and everyone is sleeping in the car. No one is ready, and then we're like waiting for 3 hours for everything to be set up, and we have a morning meeting, and then like everyone is because we have to drive so far out to the set, so everyone is just like waiting on set to when it's their time. So we say we film 4 scenes a day, then everyone is just waiting, and maybe you only have one scene that day, so you have so many hours of waiting. And so what we basically do is everyone has to be quiet. So we
Mm.
just sit around, we look at each other and do nothing. And then when we can talk, of course, we talk, but it's just this huge void. You can't do anything. You can't look at your phone. You can't
Mm.
talk. You just sit like that. And
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to talk about it. It's traumatizing.
Traumatized. Oh no. Well, let's go back to your friends and your scene partners here. Specifically Teo, who you guys share a lot of scenes together, obviously. So what's something that you learned from him as an actor, that you kind of were like, oh, that's very interesting, and maybe I should try that, or something that you'll take with you to your next project, something like that.
Teo, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the thing with Teo is that we got to know each other on an audition back in 2022, and we hit it off right away.
Yeah.
Actually, we're good friends to this day, and I think like the most special part with like playing with him is that we've obviously had a couple of scenes with a bit of intimacy in some way.
Yes.
So we kind of have to have that, that relationship where we can talk with each other about things, and we can have fun with things, and do things that are normally a bit embarrassing, do it funny instead. So I think I would definitely say that having a good mood and just like playing with stuff and not taking things too seriously when they're supposed to be very seriously is
Sure.
an important part. But because if not, everything would just be really, embarrassing and a little bit cringe when you're doing scenes and stuff. So
Totally.
that's the most important part of him and his acting in some way that I would say, yeah.
Yeah, you almost have to like make sure, you're both comfortable and everything like that. Cause you mentioned you do have the intimate scene. So like when you're preparing for like a scene that you guys have to kiss in, like how do you not make it awkward?
Imagine you're about to kiss a guy for the first time in your life,
Yeah.
and there's like grown men around you with cameras, and a lady saying kiss, 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 and a guy flying a drone around you just to like get the drone shot around you. Like one guy was running around us with the camera to get that
Oh my
like
gosh.
spinning effect, and everything was just like, okay, I'm just gonna have to close my eyes here. Yeah, soft lips, by the way, very soft lips. But okay, not too much about that.
That's crazy.
Just I think we just have to laugh about it in some way because it's
Yeah.
such an absurd thing that like, okay, I'm kissing a guy. This is a bit awkward because everyone is standing around us, but we just have to laugh about the guy like running around us, making that weird like sound around it. It's I don't know.
It's incredible. It's a weird life. We make ourselves so uncomfortable. But obviously, the people are enjoying it and loving the show. So that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, and
Uh,
that means the world, really.
yeah. So talk to me about your process in like hair, makeup, and costume. What does it that mean to you as an actor to really become Erik? And I guess how do you um use those accessories to get into your character?
So I don't know if you watched the first 2 seasons of the show, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you notice how much my clothes changed? I have
Much.
one sweater and
Yeah.
it's a gray sweater. And I swear to God, because I came in there and they were like, everyone got these cool costumes, like right, with a lot of colors, and everyone was looking cool. And they were like, "Here's your costume." And I was like, "Okay, that's it. And what more?" And they were like, "No, that's your costume," because they wanted me to be really depressed and like down to earth and really gray and don't say anything. So I was like, "Okay, this is my costume. This is Erik." And then the hair, they tried to do this like almost like slick over, like right, straight down, bowl
Yeah.
cut all the way on the first. So in the first episodes, you'll see some of that bowl cut. But then I had a riot with them because I couldn't stand it. So I had to fight with the producers every single day. Please let me do my own hair. And they were like, "No, no, we're not gonna let you do that." And then thankfully, one of the interns put way too much hair wax in it, so it just exploded. And we had to wash it off with some dishwashing type of soap, and then it just ruined everything. So they were like, "Okay, you can do your own hair." So that's how I ended up doing it myself. I don't know if they liked it, but at least it felt better to me. So, but other than that, it's just I'm probably the least interesting person when it comes to hair and makeup and everything. Is I just put on my day-to-day costume and get out there.
Totally, but how does that kind of assist in your acting of Erik and becoming Erik? Does that kind of help you, or do you still feel like, you're the same person?
I feel like I am Erik in many
Yeah.
ways, but definitely getting on that same gray sweater every day that starts to smell a little bit because you've been sweating in it for weeks. Then you feel like okay, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be around here and just be a gray man in some way.
Yeah. That's awesome. So obviously, this was like something that you never thought of to even start, I guess, for you. And now here you are. So I'm curious about your first day on set. It's just a whole other world. There's cameras everywhere. There's a million people on set. What was that kind of like for you? Did you know kind of going into it what it would be like, or were you just completely surprised? What was that like?
Well, we had filmed a pilot episode
Hmm.
for the show before we started filming it for television. But I never imagined it because the pilot episode was like we were like five people plus two actors maybe, and I thought that okay, this the movie industry? That's not pretty big. And then when you come in on the first day of Rumors, it was me and Alisa, Cecilia, and Teo. We were the only four actors. We were doing this bowling scene in the bowling alley. And then we was like, okay, we sat in the car and was like, okay, we're excited. We've never done this before. And we come in there and there's like almost 40 people just setting things up, cameras and lighting and everything. And you just, okay, where do we start? So I just came in there and started, hey, Benjamin, nice to meet you. And
Yeah.
okay, I had said hi to you before, and it was like, I couldn't imagine it because it was so huge. There were so many people. So we just stood up in a ring and everyone was like pointing out, okay, this is the light guy, this is the camera guy. And everyone's like, okay. So the first day was like really trying to like just find your place in this big environment of people that had different functions, and then like it was really interesting how the more days we spent with each other on set, like I saw those people more than my own family,
Yeah.
uh half a year. And it's crazy how you just get to know each other like really fast. Like the first day you don't talk to anyone, you're really like in your own head and you're like, okay, I don't want to talk to anyone. And then it can be like a week or two and then you just talk to everyone, and it feels like a big family. So but the first day on set you're really gonna think, oh my God, I don't belong here. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you're saying to yourself. That's it's crazy, really.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And like you said, over the course of the time that you shoot, you create such a special bond. So, going from the first day to the last day, I'm sure it's very different for you, and I'm sure there's a lot of emotions on the last day of set. So, what was that kind of like for you?
The last day of set, I cried actually.
Yeah.
I cried a lot. Was I didn't expect myself to do it, but and it was of course only me that cried, so that was a bit embarrassing. But but everyone was it was just like we had filmed this scene, and then the director says like, and for the last time ever, thank you, and everyone just started clapping, and it was. And then we were like, okay, are we ever going to get another season or anything? Are we going to film anything more? So you just start like, this is over. What do I do now?
Right.
And but to some extent, it was like saying goodbye to family,
Mm.
uh, like a while there. It was because imagine like you're not just like with them at work, but like after work you can go out and grab beers with them. Those are the people you call if you're like they get like family. If you're struggling with someone in your private life, you call the director or anything and like, hey, can you give me some girl tips or anything? And
Right.
they'll talk to you, and it's. So just saying goodbye to them and not seeing them every day and like thinking that you're gonna stay in touch and keep the contact, but you're really not because they're at work, you're at school, it's never going to work out. It's like a breakup in many ways.
Right.
It's so that was pretty tough to just that last day to go from feeling like I don't belong here to this is the only place I want to be.
Yeah.
That's a really weird journey. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That it's so true. I'm curious, we talk about the evolution of you on set, but I'm curious to ask you about the evolution of Eric. How do you feel like he evolved and you kind of grew with him from season one to season three?
Okay, so like in the beginning, Eric is really like he's the quiet type. He doesn't talk to anyone, and he's really like people have to get to know him to get him to open up, right? That's the whole like idea of Eric is that this guy won't open up ever. And then you can see like he slightly opens up a little bit throughout season two. And then, but still, it's not like you don't really know Eric, right? You just know bits and pieces of him. But in season three, and especially season four, that's coming right after season three now, you're gonna see some new sides of him that I don't personally like a lot. He's gonna be quite a bag, actually. So you're really gonna get to know Eric now, for better and worse. It's I don't know. I don't remember your question, sadly, but I just
That's
start talking.
okay.
So
No, you totally answered it. It was kind of about the how he has evolved. And what about like you? Has I guess playing Eric taught you anything about yourself?
yeah, probably that I don't know, like I felt really uncomfortable like in the beginning when Eric was this quiet type because like I'm not always the one to like I'm not always out there screaming and saying jokes and doing everything, but I'm not
Mhm.
used to like being quiet all the time and keeping to myself all the time. So I really feel like I learned a lot about myself that when we got to season three and four, when I could be a little bit more myself, when Eric gets a lot of new friends and like starts feeling more comfortable in the situation, then I can actually be a little bit more myself in the part where I can crack some jokes and talk to people in another way. So I think I got more comfortable with playing something more like myself in the
Ah,
season three and four.
very cool, very cool. Obviously, I know the first audition you didn't memorize your lines, but I would assume as we got to set, you were memorizing some lines. Do you have any tips, perhaps, of how you memorize your lines?
Oof, the thing is that no one really reads the script, or
Oh,
we're told to like read it the night before, but everyone reads it the same day, so it we mess up a lot. But I don't know if I would give a tip that I don't follow myself. It would be to read the script the night before and try to rehearse things, and don't do that on set when people are already looking at their clocks, ready to go home, and you're like, okay, I almost got it. I almost got it. I swear to God, we're just gonna have to try something. So definitely just rehearse your lines. Probably I did some scenes together with some friends of mine and my mom. My mom was portraying a girl that I was supposed to talk to. That was really embarrassing. But yeah, so you just read the lines with someone else and try to like think of natural reactions and stuff like that. I think that's really important when reading a script. It's not just
Mhm.
words, but it's like how you express it in some way.
Perfect. I love that. How about was there anything on set that may have happened off camera, or that you totally like didn't realize the camera was on, or maybe even like a blooper like during the scene where you just start laughing that actually ended up like making it into the show that like wasn't scripted?
Well, we have a lot of stuff there, tiny comments from everyone. Like I got a lot of tiny comments like that was thought like, okay, that was a bit funny that made it to the screen and stuff like that. But there was, in terms of bloopers, there were so many scenes where people just like we ended up working like 3 hours late because everyone was just laughing and we couldn't do anything. It was, but it's oh, it's really because there's so many like different situations where everyone is just like crying their eyes out laughing, and everyone around is like getting angry at us because we can't act in anything and yelling at us. But I don't remember. There's one scene in this new in season three. I think it will be in episode maybe three or four, where all the guys is like sitting in this sofa, and they're talking about like, oh, we need to get laid, and it was just like, you're never gonna get laid. No, never gonna get laid. And that scene was just because in the script it was written like so boring and formal in some way. But then we were just sitting there, and then it would at some point it involved to be like this roast contest with everyone. And then I remember the director was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go and grab a smoke. I don't want to do this shit anymore." And he just went out because everyone was crying their eyes out laughing, and
Oh, that's
it was
hilarious.
really that was maybe one of my favorite memories from filming.
Oh, I
But
love that. That's
definitely a
so
lot of laughing bloopers. Yeah.
I love it. It's great. Those are always fun, and the fans like to look out for those. So I'm sure they'll be looking out for that in season three.
I wish they had a blooper episode because at the premiere parties they make this like little blooper episodes for
Oh,
like of like
fun.
5 minutes to show us, but they don't want to post it, and I think that's really weird because I know many people have been asking for bloopers, and I really want them myself. So
Yeah, hopefully the videos aren't deleted anywhere and we can find them. So I'm curious,
we'll find them for you.
yeah, for sure. So I'm curious to know, like, was there a take that you did that you were like, oh, I feel like I could have done better, but the director was like, no, that was perfect, and we got to move on. Let's keep going.
I don't know. I feel like there was definitely a lot of those situations during the first and second season because, as I said, right, you're new. You don't want to say, but I want it more that way, right? And you just okay. If you say that's good, then it's good, right? But
Right.
then throughout season three and four, you get like less of that because everyone is like more comfortable in their parts, and we know how we want it, and like the communication between actor and director and stuff like that becomes much smoother and better, and the actors really say, okay, we want it this way. But definitely during season one and two, there was so many scenes that I was like looking at many months later when it aired on TV, and I was like, why did I do that? Why did we do that? I don't want it to be like this, right? So I try to do that a little bit more now during season three and four. But so we ended up in a couple of fights with the directors about how we want things to be, and but you don't always win. You know, you win some and you lose some. But there's a lot of scenes where I am supposed to get a little bit angry and stuff like that, where I don't really like the way I'm getting angry, but they want it a certain way and stuff like that.
Mm,
It's really hard to explain because I can't spoil anything. That's the,
right.
that's the issue here. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of scenes from season one and two that I'm looking back at now and cringing out of. But I think it will be a little bit better now for season three and four when we get to do a little bit more our way. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're so excited. I know I have only 2 minutes left with you, so I want to get to some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Um, let's chat. Favorite line from a film or a TV show?
It's Good Will Hunting when Ben Affleck says to Matt Damon, I hope one day I wake up, I come up, I knock at your door, and I pray to God that you're not there. That's the line that gives me chills every single time.
It's a good one.
That,
Good choice.
that's a good one.
Um, Favorite snack at Crafty?
Brownies.
Ooh, good one.
Like,
Uh, First TV show that inspired you to become an actor.
I've always liked Two and a Half Men. I've
Oh
always wanted to
yeah?
play like a sitcom, like Two and a Half Men or something. I don't know. It's really weird, but yeah.
I love it. Have you ever had to cry on cue?
Yeah, but I can't do it.
You can't do it.
I can't do it. Like I have to think about something really sad, but I really can't do it. But sometimes, like after a lot of time, like okay, I'm just gonna need 5 minutes for myself, watch some sad videos and stuff. Then I come, okay, I'm ready.
I love it. Do you have like a song or a playlist or something that kind of just pumps you up before a scene?
Listening to Avicii, no doubt.
Oh,
Listening
I
to
love
Avicii,
that.
that's for sure. That pumps me up.
Love it. I mean, that's it for the rapid fire. That was great.
My name is Benjamin. I'm an actor on Rumors, and I just did my first interview ever, and it was here on Young Entertainment. So don't forget to subscribe to Young Entertainment. Thank you very much.